presented by Heritage Valley Health System, the show that talks about what's happening in Beaver County, along with news and weather with Curtis Walsh and sports with Matt Durzick. And now, here is the host of the show, Mike Romai.
Welcome to the live Mike. Mike is on vacation. It's me, Larry Ferrario, sitting in for Mike. And during this segment, we've got a couple of very special guests in studio from the Provident Charter School West. Let's see if I can not butcher their names up too badly. Maria Paluselli, I got that one right. Good morning, Maria. How are you?
Good morning.
And also Jean Furkatish.
Perfect. Good
Well,
morning.
now if I have to say them again, we could really be in trouble. But for right now, that's great. Welcome at the Provident Charter School West. Dealing and changing the lives of children with dyslexia is the main topic du jour. And I know people out there, you know, probably the question you get all the time, what is dyslexia? Give us a little explanation of it and things that your organization can do to help children with that issue.
Sure. Thank you, Larry. Thanks for having us here today. Dyslexia, the word actually literally means trouble with language. So individuals who have dyslexia have difficulty processing language, and it's neurological. So it's actually organic. It's, in the brain. It's not something they can just work really hard and get through. But this difficulty with language manifests itself mostly for children who get to school and have trouble learning to read and spell. Part of this neurological component is a difficulty with understanding the sounds in English, how to put them together to read and how to take them apart for to spell. And so, there's a range of how it shows up in individuals. Some people are severely impacted by their dyslexia and can't remember names of letters and sounds. Other people are mildly affected and just may read slowly and have difficulty spelling.
And now, dyslexia in general, is it something that kids are just born with? Is it not a learned behavior, because that would be maybe a little backwards in thinking, but how does someone come up with getting dyslexia in the first place?
It is neurological. So that means they are born with it. And I often chuckle when I hear people say, as adults, when they hear the work that I do, they'll say, "Oh, I had dyslexia when I was young." Right. And you don't outgrow dyslexia. You learn to compensate for the challenges that come with it. But there are often some strengths too, and we can talk about that as well, because people are born with it. It's neurological. They've done studies of the brain and can show, where blood flow is activated and the difference between people who don't have dyslexia and who do have it. So it is organic, neurological, and the treatment for dyslexia, though, is educational. Which is interesting. So, and there's been a lot of research done on how specific remedial procedures and intervention, and that's what our school, what Provident Charter School, helps with. We have very specifically trained teachers who understand the routines and the methodology that is required to help children overcome this phonological deficit.
And let's get in a little bit before we get more into the dyslexia and all the help that you give to children, the Provident Charter School West. How, people might want to know where it's at, how long it's been around, how do they get involved in it, and
absolutely.
Give me some
Thanks
of those.
For asking. Sure.
I should have asked that first, but we got right into it.
Well, I think it's good to identify what dyslexia is first, because the name could be intimidating to some, but it actually is the most common learning difference. So in public schools all over the country, and students who are receiving special education, of all of the conditions or challenges, learning differences, dyslexia is the most common, yet it's often the most misunderstood. And so I appreciate us going there first. But Provident Charter School West is in Economy Borough in the former Quigley Catholic High School. So we have existed as Provident Charter School in Troy Hill for 7 years. Pittsburgh Public Schools is the authorizing district out there. We've had 7 years of perfecting a successful model of programming, and we have replicated our model, and we will open in August, just in a few weeks, in this former Quigley Catholic High School, Provident Charter School West. We are enrolling students in grades 1 through 4 right now. And so we have a website, providentcharterschool.org, that has information about both our central location in the north side of Pittsburgh as well as this Beaver County location.
So does everyone have the school jitters of going back to school? Because as a teacher, I understand those jitters, or, the feeling of it's coming.
Sure, you have to bring it up, Larry. You have to go there. When the calendar flips, yes, to August 1.
It's over. The summer is over.
It is. That's the feeling. We try to manage that, but no, our new staff will be back next week. And
Excellent.
So it's a bittersweet time. Most people who are in education are because they love children and they love what they do. And so there's an excitement that comes with back to school, but certainly a bittersweet component of summer is over.
Now, are children referred throughout the year, or how does that sustain itself throughout the course of a year, the enrollment?
Sure. Well, because we're new, we will enroll probably, we are not at capacity yet. We could have up to 132 students in grades 1 through 4 this year. We will add a grade each year until we are in grades 1 through 8. Our goal, part of our mission, is to be able to help students receive this remedial instruction during the school day so that they can go back to their home school district or transition to high school prepared and ready to go. We will be enrolling all year until we're at capacity. The way charter schools work, once we're at capacity, there will be a wait list and a lottery during enrollment, should that be the case. But right now we have spots open for students in grades 1 through 4.
Awesome. And what's nice is when reading your brochure here, it talks about the goal, return students back to their home district with improved literacy skills. So your teachers are trying to work themselves out of a job, basically. If they could solve everyone's issues, that would be wonderful. That would be the ultimate goal. Doesn't always happen that way. But that's a wonderful goal that you actually lay out in front of everyone. So this is our mission. We're not trying to just, accumulate students and the money that comes along with that. So that's nice to see.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. And there's just a need, and I'd like to also our board vice president, Jean Furkatish, because. I'll let Jean explain her story as a parent, but what we have seen in the 7 years at Provident Charter School Central is that there is a need for families, and that, when your child is struggling in first and second grade and doesn't want to go to school, that is a real problem and a daily struggle. And so we know the positive impact that we've had, and we look forward to bringing that to Beaver County. Jean, do you want to add to that?
Well, I guess for me, one of the big impacts is if you're a parent with a child with dyslexia and you're helping them try to read at night, they're crying, you're crying, the stress is in the family. The way that our school is designed, it's a longer school day, so they don't have any homework.
Oh.
So all of a sudden, all of that stress is removed from the family. Is that great?
People are loving that already, just saying the no homework part. Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I think that is so important is that kids with dyslexia, they have other strengths. And so often in the general public school, they're pulled out for special help, and that means that they can't do art, and they can't do certain phys ed, and they can't do music. Well, those are their strengths. Mm-hmm. You look at the number of actors and entertainers who are people with dyslexia. It's incredible. So here they are, not being able to do their strengths because they're bright kids, and they're very often kind of funny, too. People just assume they're not working hard. So all day long they hear, if you work harder, you would do this. If you work harder, you could do this. Eventually that wears on their self-esteem. And our school, because it is so holistic everybody gets a chance to experiment with their strengths. Everybody gets the remediation that they need, and the stress is removed from the family. Totally, it's just a win, 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 win. So it is just great. The other thing I guess I wanted to add, because I am a mother of two daughters with dyslexia, one significantly and one is mildly dyslexic, is that dyslexia runs in families. I was describing our school to my cousin who's a teacher, and my 100-year-old aunt was sitting there. And she looked up and she said, "That sounds just like me." So then as I looked back and I thought about things, I thought, yeah, my sister is dyslexic.
Wow.
So she talks about her struggles. Of course, when we were growing up, people didn't know what that was.
Right.
You know, I think of my own struggle with foreign language, my own struggle with trying to learn shorthand, which was Greek to me. And I think, hey, there's a lot of, not confusing my left and my right. There's a lot of signals of dyslexia. And so often I talk to parents and they'll say to me, "Oh, I was just like that when I was little. I eventually got it."
Right.
And so they don't reach out to help their children because they know that they made it through. They struggled through. So now children are supported in a new way, and it's time to step forward and say, hey, we don't have to do it like my experience.
We're speaking with Jean Ferkatish.
Yeah,
You're
did it twice.
vice president of the board.
Right.
And Maria Paluselli, CEO.
Right.
Of Provident Charter School West, 200 Quigley Drive in Baden, Pennsylvania. There's a 412 number. Is that the number I give out? The
Yes.
412-709-5160 for more information, or www.providentcharterschool.org. We're going to step aside for a quick break. We'll come back right after that with more of Provident Charter School West here on the Live Mic.
Circle of Friends has an amazing opportunity for you to meet new people. That's because for a limited time, while a new location is being prepared for the Baden location, all activities have been consolidated in New Brighton. That means if you haven't been to Circle of Friends lately, you're apt to see some new faces from the other end of the valley the next time you drop in. No matter where you live in Beaver County, Circle of Friends Senior Activity and Enrichment Program in New Brighton welcomes you. Enjoy daily hot meals, exercise equipment, line dancing, bingo, car clubs, and more. Plus, Circle of Friends also provides important assistance with income tax and Medicare counseling. All activities and meals are available for one low donation. Call 724-846-1959 for more details. Want to know more? Don't be a square. Join the Circle. Circle of Friends. Stop by Circle of Friends in New Brighton, located in the former St. Cyril's Church. Call the office at 724-846-1959 or click cofbeaver.com. Hey, Peanuts! Tune in to Beaver County Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for the all-new Hey Peanuts Sports Show. Just like the Peanut Guy has his opinion from the cheap seat, so do hosts Scott Kincaid and Brian Pasquale. The pair will discuss what's going on in the world of sports both locally and nationally. They'll also take your phone calls. The show will also be streamed live on the Beaver County Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. So make plans to tune in this and every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on Beaver County Radio, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Friday, August 11th, PNC Park is going country. Come watch the Pirates take on the Reds at 7:05, then stick around for a live performance from country music superstar Gabby Barrett. The pride of Munhall, PA will be playing her biggest hits, including her record-breaking 7-time platinum debut single, I Hope. What's better than friends, family, Pirates baseball, and a concert under the stars? Get your tickets today at pirates.com/Gabby.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
And welcome back to the Live Mic. Larry Ferrario sitting in for the vacationing Mike Romai. We're speaking with Maria Paluselli, CEO of Provident Charter School West, and Jean Ferkatish, the school board vice president. when you're going to raise to the ranks of president there. That's what everyone wants to know. Too much work indeed.
I'm a delightful president.
Well, welcome back, ladies. Great to have you on.
Thank you.
Maria, I know you had something you wanted to mention during the break that you wanted to talk about on air.
Sure. In addition to the unique programming that we have to provide specialized reading intervention for students at our school, Jean was talking about how we also have a holistic program that helps students identify their strengths. So individuals with dyslexia often have strengths in other non-language-based areas, specifically design and engineering. Often they're artistic, have great visual strengths and visual spatial artistic ability, creative. They're often mechanical, athletic. And so we have a really special makerspace where students have kind of daily, weekly opportunities to work with curriculum and build, design, create, and kind of it provides another opportunity to show how smart they are or what they know that's not necessarily paper and pencil, output. Different creative alternative options. We also we are the only school in the country that has Taekwondo as part of its special programming. So every student receives Taekwondo instruction from our Grandmaster Zhang, who is just amazing with our students. And so he has developed a belt system that correlates with our positive behavior support program within our school. And so we've taken PCS to kind of stand for perseverance, compassion, and self-control. And not only do our students break boards, learn patterns, but he instills in them the importance of self-control and perseverance, specifically as it relates to them overcoming their learning challenges.
And I know with the martial arts in general and Taekwondo, the notion of the forms that they have to go through and the discipline and the concentration it takes, that's probably why it's a wonderful mix between the two.
It is. It's amazing. And what I know, having worked with children who have struggled for years, is that it becomes a pervasive lack of confidence in their life. And so they walk around like these are students who might not be willing to take and try out for their township recreational soccer or baseball team because they just don't want to have another experience with failure. And so this Taekwondo, we do have a special team of role models, but it starts out, it's their individual progress within themselves. And he works with them individually. And then you see these students who came in with hats, with hoodies, hiding, and, no confidence, all of a sudden up there, breaking boards and completing patterns and kicks that are pretty impressive. So
now, Jean, did your children have the opportunity to be involved in a Taekwondo or any type of?
No, unfortunately, they didn't. If I had it to do over again, I would go and look at that. It's kind of funny because I was with my daughters on a trip recently, and I asked them what they experienced as children that they really appreciated and what they missed. And the one said, I wish I'd gotten into martial arts.
Now, do people from Provident Charter School West, or will they, go and visit other schools to talk with administration or to put on, I guess, clinics or, give talks with teachers of maybe some teachers that are struggling and they don't quite understand what's going on?
That's great, Larry. Thank you for asking about that. So we are happy to speak to anyone about dyslexia. We hosted a dyslexia simulation at Provident Charter School West just at the end of July. We will probably have one in the fall, and sometimes we do them in the spring as well. And so we have a really strong administrative team, curriculum folks, our director of structured literacy. We are actually also one of a few in the country that is a Wilson certified regional training program. Wilson Language is the Orton-Gillingham-based reading remediation that we use, and we have an actual director of structured literacy who is a Wilson credentialed trainer, and so we are able to provide training to other teachers in the area. And so that has been real positive in the past few years because, we even have a greater impact in that way then. We're, not just able to do what we're doing at our two schools, but we're able to help other teachers carry this into their school and work with children as well.
We can tell, Maria, that you really know your craft because she's speaking with no notes and naming names and listing. I'm trying to figure out what the next commercial is, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So, how long have you been involved in this type of endeavor, or dare you say how many years?
Well, I've been in special education close to 30 years, and so I've taught learning support in several public schools in the Pittsburgh area. But then I had an opportunity to become trained in this Orton-Gillingham approach and became a trainer of teachers, and was actually the director of the Children's Dyslexia Center, which is in the Ross Township, a Masonic Scottish Rite program that provides after-school tutoring for these children with dyslexia. And that's why there's such a need in this area in Western Pennsylvania. What happens is if students are struggling and not able to receive this kind of instruction during their school day, families have to take on this expense after school. And you have a child who already struggles with learning and keeping up for 6-7 hours, and then we make their day longer by after-school programming. And so it comes with an expense for families, and it comes with some quality of life that is negatively impacted because they're driving. And so our goal, Jean said, to have our day a little bit longer so we can just handle it all during the day. And it is a gift for families. It's as if we've given them, $1 million when we say no homework.
That's key. I was just going to bring that up. The key is the no homework. And I think in general, I think kids are barraged with homework from every class. You add 40 minutes for every class period, and it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Hey, we're going to take a quick break for the news. We're speaking with Maria Paluselli, CEO of Provident Charter School West, and Jean Furkatich, the board vice president. So stick around. We'll have more of them coming up on the live mic after Matt with the news.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
And good morning on this Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. The Beaver County weather forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies today with a high of 81 degrees. For the full details of your weather forecast following this look at news. Lottery players will have another shot Tuesday night at a massive Mega Millions prize that ranks as the third largest jackpot in U.S. history. The estimated $1.55 billion prize has been gradually building for months thanks to 31 straight drawings without a jackpot winner. The last time someone won the game's top prize was April 18th. Each drawing without a winner pushes the prize closer to the record $2.04 billion Powerball jackpot that someone in California won last year. Mega Millions jackpot winners are so rare thanks to odds of 1 in 302.6 million. The $1.55 billion payout will go to a winner who opts for an annuity, doled out over 30 years. But people usually prefer a lump sum option, which for Tuesday's jackpot would be an estimated $757.2 million. The money would be subject to federal taxes. Many states also tax lottery winnings. Families Matter Food Pantry had an official ribbon cutting for their new distribution center at 186 Wagner Road in Monaca yesterday. The former site of the Steamfitters Union building is now responsible for maintaining and preserving different types of food for those in need. The event was hosted by Director Rachel Tresilla and Assistant Director Quinna Price in cooperation with the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce. According to Price, Families Matter takes in roughly 239,000 pounds of food a month, ranging from fresh produce to packaged meals. The nonprofit organization is an agency of the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank, and they also receive local donations from farmers and other donors. The full story from yesterday's event, along with pictures, can be found at beavercountyradio.com. The bad news is that gas prices are once again going up in western Pennsylvania, but the average is only going up 3 cents, from $3.87 last week to $3.90 this week, according to AAA East Central's latest report. Beaver County is also going up 3 cents, as last week's average increases from $3.78 for a gallon of gas to $3.81. The county no longer has the lowest average in the region. That honor now belongs to the Sharon region with $3.75 for a gallon of gas. Elsewhere, the Pittsburgh region clocks in with $3.85 a gallon, while Butler comes in with an average of $3.89 a gallon this week. The regional average of $3.90 is a 53-cent decrease from August of 2022, when gas was averaging $4.43 a gallon. Ohio's voters will decide Tuesday whether to make their state constitution harder to amend, as a highly charged special election that has direct bearing on a November ballot question over abortion rights comes to a close. If Issue 1 passes, the threshold for voters being able to change the state constitution would rise from a simple majority to 60%. That would make it difficult, if not impossible, for